Hello and welcome to one of our first EdTech CPD sessions, which is going to be all about using Google Meet to support teaching and learning. Just to introduce myself, my name is Michael Goldie. I am the Year 5 teacher and EdTech lead at Hambleton Primary Academy. So today in Google Meet, what are we going to be looking at? Well, first of all, I'm going to talk about some of the benefits to using it. Firstly, I believe that it does enable you and your students to come together. As you can see here in the picture, this is a picture of our head doing an assembly with all our classes at the same time. Something in the current environment we just can't do, as you are well aware of already. So it enables you to bring all your classes together on the Mondays when you have your sort of first assembly, or even on your Fridays for your praise assemblies. It's used to support and enhance your current learning offer. So if you are teaching and in the worst case scenario, a bubble does have to go home, you can use some of that. You can pre-record a lot of the content for teaching and learning, and you can put it on your Google Classroom or even your 365, etc. And then finally, it's great for also for CPD, for parents. We can create how-to guides and put them on our website, showing parents how to use certain things in Google Classroom, and even for teachers as well. We know at the moment there's been quite a big demand for a lot of this online content. So you can use Google Meet to have CPD, have one-to-one sessions with teachers, with external agencies, etc. And you can even pre-record content to put out there for them as well. So today, what will our live demonstration consist of? Well, first of all, we're going to look at the do's and don'ts of what you should do when you have a Google Meet with students. Make sure you set up a separate email, show you how to do that as well. Scheduling a meeting, setting up users for success using Google Meet, how to record content, enabling Google Meet for live streaming, and how to share those slides as well. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop sharing my window. I'm going to come out of here and I'm going to go back to the meeting tab here. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to now share my screen again with you and go through those live demonstration things that I was just discussed before. Okay, so next I'm going to share my entire screen with you, which hopefully you should see now. And whilst I am just getting this prepared, I am just going to come off that. I'm just going to quickly talk about those do's and those don'ts for using Google Meet with your students. So number one, with those do's and those don'ts, this may seem common sense to a lot of us. However, it is really important that you do go over them. Number one, make sure you sit against a neutral background. Check what's in the back. You don't want anything in there. That's really, really important. Avoid, this is for teachers as well at the moment. I'll go on to students in a minute. Number two, make sure you avoid recording in bedrooms or any private areas. That's really important as well. Just make sure that your background is neutral wherever you are going to be creating your Google Meet. Number three, dress like you would for school. I know at the moment I am sort of in my PE kit. However, it is a PE day, but at the same time, I think it's just common sense, isn't it? Make sure that you're not wearing, for example, pajamas when you are teaching children. Dress like you would for the classroom. Think of dressing appropriately. The next one, number four, double check that no other tabs are open on any other browsers. That is super important. You need to make sure that those tabs that may be open are appropriate for children's eyes. You know, it does happen. It can happen. Just make sure if it is that you do exit down. And then the next thing I'm going to talk about now is what you should expect of your children. So once again, number one, make sure those children who are on those meetings with you, they know that they should be in a neutral area, in a neutral background. They shouldn't be in private areas and bedrooms. Make sure there is a parent or an adult around with them at the time. Next thing as well, make sure your children also, they dress appropriate. You know, you set the standard yourself. You have to re-emphasize that information with your children. Make sure they're not in pajamas. Make sure they're well dressed and prepared. And the next thing, make sure parents know that they are on a live stream and they may be walking past in the background. get the parents to think about what they are going to say or what they do say, because children may hear or see anything which is in a background. That's really important. Okay, now onto our live demonstration. So just going back there, I am now going to share my screen with you. And the first thing I am going to talk about today is going to be how to set up an email. Now, this may seem very common sense, but the first thing that you must do is ensure, I'm talking from a Google perspective here, that you don't use your own school email. Use a generic or a different email. And you can do that through going into your Google administration tool over here. So I'll just go into this here. Now, if you don't have access to Google admin, you need to find the privileges from one of those super admin users to do that. And it's simple as, when you go into Google admin area, you can click on your users down here, and then you've got the option here to add a new user. Simply populate the details, add that new user, and then you will have a new email address set up. I would probably recommend what we've done in our school is set it up, for example, as if you were a year one teacher, don't need a surname, at hamiltonprimaryacademy.co.uk. Okay, so that is setting up different emails before you do it. Next thing, what you need to do is how to schedule a meeting. So in order to schedule a meeting, the first thing that you do need to do is go to Google Meet. Now, you can do this a couple of ways. You have the array up here. You can click on the array there, or you can just type it in your search bar up here, www.google.com, or you've got it up here and just type in Google Meet. And it should come up first link. If you are logged into Google already, it'll bring this up. And here you can start a meeting, call it whatever you wish. So we could just call it test meeting. Okay. This are the basics of just setting up a quick, as you can see here, I'm on it. This is just a way of quickly setting up a quick test meeting. Now, if you want to schedule it for more than one person, you need to have a Google Calendar. So the way you do that is, once again, coming up to the array up here, going there, clicking on Google Calendar, and then setting up where you would like your Google Meets. It's as simple as, so today it's Friday. If I wanted to set up a Google Meet for 4 p.m., I open it, 4 p.m., test meeting. And then this is really important. This tab here, make sure you click Add Google Meet Video Conferencing. At this point, you can add your guests. So you just search for the emails. It can be external guests if they're not within your intranet, your domain, but make sure you add them in. Finally, you've got some extra details. You can put information down there. And then what will happen is, when you save it, let's just say I send one for myself. So Goldie. What you then need to do is you click save, and it will give you the option here. Would you like to send an invitation, emails to Google Calendar guests, and then you send them across. That is how you would schedule a meeting through your calendar system. Next, setting up your users for access using Google Meet. So you might not have the option when they go onto their Google Classroom or when they log into their emails to actually get on and use Google Meet. So you need to give them the access privileges to do that. Once again, this is a Google admin area function. So you would go down to your Google admin tab. Once you're on your Google admin tab, up here, search Google Meet. And as you can see here, it comes up Apps G Suite. The one you really want is underneath. It's your Meet video settings. Okay, and as you can see here, I have the status which is on for everyone. This is your server status. You need to make sure it is on. If you turn it off, it can take up for the 24 hours to make the changes. It will not work. No one will be able to access. So make sure that is on for you and your students. Next, how do you record any live content, just like I'm doing at the moment? Well, once again, click on your Google Meet tab, start a meeting, test meeting. If you click continue, Once you're in there, you can join the meeting, and up here, you click on this 3 circles up the top, click record meeting. Now, by doing that, it will take a few steps, a few seconds, but then it'll say you are now recording and you are off. And you can either, by stopping it, you do the same again, click on the 3 circles, go up, or you can also, if you wish, just end the actual meeting. And what that will do is it'll automatically save the recording. And the beauty of it is that it will also send the recording directly to the email of the person who set up the actual recording. So the next thing is an option which I think is great. You can enable Google Meet, for live streaming. The beauty of that is that you may not want those students to see you, and it just comes up as a live stream, just like you would if you had YouTube live streaming or Facebook live streaming. And the way we do that is, once again, we go through our calendar tab and you begin to set up what you need. And in here, you add your Google Meet video conferencing. And when you go down here, you have this button here, live stream. You simply click add live stream. This will then reset the settings and it will send out a link for the live stream for you. And then you set it for a time and it'll come through. It'll look slightly different when they click on the link. They'll go into it, but it'll just say live and it won't have the option to see them. And that means you don't have that two-way interaction, which some schools are going for based on safeguarding purposes. And then finally, the last thing that I want to look at today is going to be how to share slides with other users. So you set up your Google Meet as you normally would, have your test meeting there, join your meeting, and then in order to share any slides, click on present now. You have 3 options. You can share your entire screen. You can share just a window. So I've got PowerPoint, Teams open, window, I've got some Google things, a file explorer. You can choose one of them. If I click and I can show you that, it gives me the choice of things I can open. Or you can also present it in a Chrome tab. So you've got all those options there. Once you do share your screen, it'll automatically give you, it'll go up on their screen, but it'll just say for you, it'll just say you're presenting to everyone and shouldn't really show you, and there'll be an option at the bottom to stop sharing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go back to the slides which I was showing you at the beginning, and I'm just going to talk about our next steps if you do need any support. So obviously what we're offering now is some of this CPD pre-recordings, but if you do wish for that one-to-one or that bespoke support, please contact us through the EdTech Demonstrator Project. And also just think about and be aware of what you might have, what you would like to put in place. You know, have you got an EdTech plan already? Review some of those procedures that you have. And if you do wish for any further support, you can contact me. You can contact our EdTech Ribblesdale Consortium, or please direct staff to your Google for Education Help webpage. If you wish to get in touch with me through Twinkle, if you wish to get in touch with me through Twitter, then please, I've highlighted my details down the bottom there. My Twitter handle is @GoldieTeach, or some of our other consortium leads are also on the page. Thank you for your time. Take care.